Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The objective and the reason for increasing our salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially on a Friday, is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he mentioned "Akthiru alayya salatan," that when it comes to the day of Jumu'ah, that is from Thursday after Maghrib right till Friday, right till this time, till Maghrib Adhan, our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam advised us to increase our salawat upon him. Many riwayat speak about the virtue of durood, and one of the many virtues is that person who will be closest to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Qiyamah. We all have this desire. Every mu'min has this desire that I want to be close to my Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and especially on the day of Qiyamah. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that person who has recited the most salawat upon me, the most, for him, he will be closest to me on the day of Qiyamah. Just recently, before I start with the salawat, a person came to one of the akabir, and because it's the season of Hajj now, so it's worthy mentioning. He says that, I've been saving for many years and I want to go for Hajj. What advice can you give me? So this great wali of Allah Ta'ala said, do 3 things. And if you do these 3 things, guaranteed, insha'Allah, I have conviction you will go for Hajj. The first thing you do is, you read 2 rakat of Salatul Hajat every day. Starting from now, every day. Ya Allah, I want to go for Hajj. Ya Allah, my money can't take me, my availability can't take me, nothing in the world can take me except for you and your qudrat. 2 rakats of salah, especially dedicated that Allah Ta'ala accept you for Hajj. The first advice he gave him. Second advice he gave him was, nothing less than 300 durood every day. Nothing less. You can't be doing anything less. 300 durood sharif every day at minimum. And if you can do more, it's even better. But daily, from now, right till you're accepted. And the third thing is that whatever little you can take out from your savings, get a box, get a little, wherever you're keeping your money, and put it in there, and make dua, and say, Allah, I want to go for Hajj. This is Hajj saving, I'm not going to touch it. And this, Wali of Allah Ta'ala said, if after this you are not accepted, then you come see me. Then you come and see me. You have to get accepted. There's no way that you're not going to get accepted. But one of the key ingredients in that was the salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah Ta'ala grant us tawfiq, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Salamun ala al-mursaleen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa anzilhu al-maqad al-muqarraba indak. Allahumma rabba hadhihi ad-da'wati al-qa'imati was-salati an-nafi'ah. Salli ala Muhammad warda anni ridan la taskhatu ba'dahu abada. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد وارحم محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت وباركت ورحمت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد النبي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذريته وأهل بيته كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وترحم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما ترحمت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ترحم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما ترحمت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم تحنن على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما تحننت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم سلم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما سلمت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم على محمد وعلى آل محمد وارحم محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وبارك على محمد النبي الأمي كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد صلاة تكون لك رضا وله جزاء ولحقه أداء وأعطه الوسيلة والفضيلة والمقام المحمود الذي وعدته واجزه عنا ما هو أهله واجزه أفضل ما جازيت نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته وصل على جميع إخوانه من النبيين والصالحين يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل علينا معهم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى أهل بيته كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك علينا معهم صلوات الله وصلوات المؤمنين على محمد النبي الأمي اللهم اجعل صلواتك ورحمتك وبركاتك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما جعلتها على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وصلى الله على النبي الأمي التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله التحيات الطيبات الصلوات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله التحيات لله الطيبات الصلوات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله التحيات المباركات الصلوات الطيبات لله سلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته سلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بسم الله وبالله التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أسأل الله الجنة وأعوذ بالله من النار نسأل الله الجنة ونعوذ بالله من النار التحيات لله الزاكيات لله الطيبات الصلوات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بسم الله وبالله خير الأسماء التحيات الطيبات الصلوات لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين اللهم اغفر لي واهدني اللهم اغفر لنا واهدنا التحيات الطيبات والصلوات والملك لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته بسم الله التحيات لله الصلوات لله الزاكيات لله السلام على النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين شهدت أن لا إله إلا الله شهدت أن محمدا رسول الله التحيات الطيبات الصلوات الزاكيات لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين التحيات الطيبات الصلوات الزاكيات لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين التحيات الصلوات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين التحيات لله الصلوات الطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله التحيات المباركات الصلوات الطيبات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله بسم الله والسلام على رسول الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم When it comes to the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the ulama have written something amazing. They say that this is one type of love which is inherent. It's literally something that we grow up with, something that has naturally been placed in our hearts by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example is, an example we can understand is when a child is born. When that mother takes the child into her hand, or the father sees his child for the first time, automatically there is an inherent love that Allah Ta'ala puts in the heart for your child without making any effort. In the exact same manner, every ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inherently, naturally, he just has this love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his heart. Now the question is, how can we grow this love? How can we maintain and sustain this love? And not only that, but how can we bring this love now to a higher level? Rasulullah ﷺ had extreme love for us. So one logical way is that when someone loves you, it's only natural to reciprocate. Someone loves you, they're expressing their love for you, they're showing their care and concern for you. Automatically, in your heart you feel, this person cares so much for me. Automatically your love in your heart grows for that person. What was the love and the concern that Rasulullah ﷺ had for his ummah? Allah Ta'ala describes this in the Quran. Allah Ta'ala tells us, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. Allah Ta'ala says, undoubtedly, definitely we have sent to you a messenger from yourselves, meaning from humankind. Min anfusikum. What were his qualities? Azizun alayhi ma anittum. He would feel your hardship. He would feel your pain and your difficulty. Rasulullah ﷺ reached the highest level of empathy. He would empathize with people. He never met the ummah to come after him, but yet he had love and concern for them without even meeting them. Azizun alayhi ma anittum. Harisun alaykum. He has this overwhelming desire that you should get hidayat and guidance. He has this overwhelming desire that each and every ummati, those sahaba that he saw and those who came after him, he had this overwhelming desire that how can each and every ummati be saved from the fire of Jahannam? And how can each and every ummati of mine be entered into the everlasting bliss of Jannah? Hadisun alaykum. Bil mu'minina ra'ufur rahim. Allah Ta'ala says, when it came to the people of Iman, the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Allah took his qualities, and Allah Ta'ala. What were these qualities? Ar-Ra'uf and Ar-Rahim. Ar-Ra'uf, the most compassionate. Ar-Rahim, the most merciful. Allah Ta'ala takes those two qualities and now blesses those two qualities. Gives Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam those two qualities. Bil mu'minin ra'ufur rahim. He is extremely compassionate when it comes to the mu'minin. He's extremely merciful when it comes to the people of Iman. This one ayat explains to us the immense love that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had for you and I, in spite of him not even meeting us. It is mentioned on many occasions, different riwayat have recorded the tahajjud of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would make fervent dua tahajjud time. For who? For his ummah. That part of his ummah that he was not even going to meet, but already he was making dua. On one occasion, the Sahaba say that they were, the dua of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, that Allah Ta'ala recorded in the Quran, إِن تُعَذِّبْهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ عِبَادُكَ وَإِن تَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ فَإِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. This was the dua of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam that Allah Ta'ala recorded in the Quran. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would read this ayat in his entire tahajjud. And while he would be reading this ayat, he would be crying and imploring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِن تُعَذِّبْهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ عِبَادُكَ. Oh my Allah, if you punish them, then they are only your slaves. Making dua for his ummah. Reading this ayat. Ya Allah, if you punish them, then they are only your slaves. وَإِن تَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ. But Allah, if you pardon them and you forgive them, فَإِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Undoubtedly, you are most mighty and most wise. Making this dua, he would cry and cry in tahajjud, reading this ayat of the Quran in his entire tahajjud salah, the entire night. You know, the question is, brothers, I ask myself, you ask yourself, have we spent the entire night crying for our salvation? Not once in my life have I spent the entire night in tahajjud crying for only one thing. What is that, Ya Allah? Save me from Jahannam. I've never did it, but my Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did it for me already. What love he had for his ummah. What love he had for his ummah. So the question is, how can we not study the sīrah? How can we not take our time and give time to study who was this greatest creation of Allah Ta'ala, the paragon of Allah Ta'ala's creation, that he loved us so much more than we love ourselves. I'll explain that in another ayat. On one occasion, while he was crying, At the time of tahajjud, Jibreel Amin descends. Ya Rasulullah, I've come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala has sent me. Now Allah ta'ala, obviously Allah's knowledge is ever encompassing. Allah ta'ala knows everything. Oh my Nabi, Allah ta'ala sent me to ask you why you are crying. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that my concern is my ummah. Jibreel Amin goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, back to the 7 heavens. And he says, he comes back after a short while. Ya Rasulullah, Allah ta'ala has commanded me to bring this message back to you. Inna sanurdika ala ummatik. O my Nabi, very shortly we're going to make you very happy when it comes to your ummah. You can now stop crying now. You can now stop crying now. Allahu Akbar. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Very shortly, O my Nabi, we're going to give you so much for your ummah. It's going to make you extremely happy. This was the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never met us, he never knew. But he knew there's an ummah coming that will bring iman on me. And I will make dua for them from now already. Allahu Akbar. You know, every Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was given an accepted dua. Every Nabi of Allah. Allah ta'ala made it such that He said to all His messengers, there is one accepted dua that I'm going to bless you with. You need to choose and you need to select the time and the reason. That I'll leave to you. But guaranteed one dua is accepted. We look at Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. He called his people to Allah Ta'ala for 950 years. And a handful of people, ulama say about 80, just over 80 people accepted Islam. And then they started taunting Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. They abused him. Right at the end, he made this dua. La tadhar ala al-ardi min al-kafirina dayyara. This was his accepted dua. Ya Allah, the time has come now. Ya Allah, wipe them all off. Wipe them off the face of this earth. I had enough. Allah Ta'ala accepted his dua. And then Allah Ta'ala sent the floods. And the whole world was destroyed at that time. That was the acceptance of the dua of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, on many occasions, he picked up his hand to make dua, but he held back. Eventually, right at the end, he made dua, Ya Allah, destroy Fir'aun completely. And his dua was also accepted. Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam made the dua, Rabbi habli mulkan la yanbaghi li ahadin min ba'di. Oh Allah, grant me such a kingdom that you have not granted to anyone before me. That's why Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam was known as the king of the world. He had control over everything. He asked for to be the king of the world, even the king of the jinn and the king of the animals, everything. The whole animal kingdom, the fauna and flora, as you call it, the trees, the jungles, everything would subjugate themselves before Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam because of this dua he made. Allah Ta'ala accepted his dua. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you know what was the dua of my father Ibrahim? He says, Inni da'watu abi Ibrahim. I am the accepted dua of my father Ibrahim. What dua he made? He said, Ya Allah, Rabbana wab'ath fihim rasulan minhum yatlu alayhim. Wallah, in my progeny send such a Nabi that will be, the superior, that will be the cream of your creation, that will be that Nabi that will take this Arab nation out of the darkness of worshipping idols and shirk, and he will take them into Tawheed. And his dua was accepted also. That was the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the Sahaba, I also have a dua, but I'm reserving my dua for the day of Qiyamah. I'm reserving my dua for the day of Qiyamah. Oh Nabi of Allah, what are you going to ask Allah? I'm going to ask Allah to grant each and every ummati without exception, those from my ummah who passed away with iman, I'm going to ask Allah to grant them salvation from Jahannam. So I will intercede on their behalf and I will take them to Jannah. And that is when I'm reserving my dua for. Allahu Akbar. This was the love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had, the concern he had for you and I, without even meeting us, subhanallah. Anas radiallahu anhu, on one occasion he said, me and the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we were exiting the masjid. And when Sahabi was coming in, and he stopped us and says, Ya Rasulullah, I've got an important question. Yes, my Sahabi, what is your question? Mata sa'a. Oh Nabi of Allah, when will Qiyamah take place? How far are we? So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave a beautiful answer and said, you know what? Ma a'adadta laha. Qiyamah will come, there's no doubt about that. The question is, what preparation have you made? That is the question. How much have you prepared for Qiyamah? This Sahabi, subhanAllah, he says that, O Nabi of Allah, truth be told, the reality, I don't have much in my account. I don't have much nawafil, much tahajjud, much extra ibadat, extra things that I don't really have. I'm being honest with you. وَلَكِنْ إِنِّي أُحِبُّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. O Nabi of Allah, one thing I can tell you for sure, I love you as the Nabi of Allah and I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That, from the bottom of my heart I can tell you. But as far as extra good deeds, I don't have much. Imagine a Sahabi is saying this. Imagine a Sahabi is saying this, subhanallah. Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba. O my Sahabi, if you really true in your claim that you love me and you love the Nabi of and you love Allah Ta'ala, then on the day of Qiyamah, Allah will resurrect you with those that you love. Allah will resurrect you with those that you love. Anas radiallahu anhu says, subhanallah, that was the happiest day of my life. And I asked Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, can I tell the Sahaba? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, yes, tell them. Because every Sahabi had such intense love for Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that Sahaba would very often make this statement, Bi abi wa ummi, Ya Rasulullah. Bi abi anta wa ummi, Ya Rasulullah. Oh Nabi of Allah, may my parents be even sacrificed for you. They would love the Nabi of Allah, not only in words but in action, much more than they love their own parents. When Sahaba heard this, that because we love Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we're going to be with him on the day of Qiyamah, they said, this was the best hadith we heard in our life. There's nothing more comforting, there's nothing more that put our hearts at ease, that we love Allah Ta'ala's Nabi and inshallah we'll be with him on the day of Qiyamah. I just want to try and wrap up inshallah. In the Quran, Allah Ta'ala tells us, An-Nabiyyu awla bil-mu'minina min anfusihim. There's a very long tafsir of this ayat. The very understanding of this ayat is, An-Nabiyyu awla bil-mu'minina min anfusihim. Allah Ta'ala says, the Nabi of Allah loves you more than you love yourselves. An-Nabiyyu awla bil-mu'minin. The Nabi of Allah loves the mu'minin more than they love themselves. This is Allah Ta'ala's description of the love that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has for you and I. Subhanallah. There's an incident, but we're chasing the clock there. So just the long and short of it. On one occasion, Jibreel came down and said, Oh Nabi of Allah, I've brought some news which is not very palatable and not very good. But Allah Ta'ala has informed me to inform you that there will be a group from your ummah. There will be a group from your ummah that will have to go to Jahannam before they go to Jannah. That is already confirmed. There will be a group. The riwayat is in Tamil Ghafilin, it's a very long riwayat. It is mentioned that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was gripped with so much of grief and sorrow that he cried perpetually for 3 days. That really my ummah will have to go to Jahannam. Not the whole ummah, even just a small group, but they'll have to go to Jahannam. How can this be? The Nabi of Allah did not eat for 3 days. He did nothing. Sahaba said he cried. In Salah he cried. After Salah he cried. As he was walking away back to his house he cried. He would come back to the Masjid crying for 3 days. And then his Sahaba asked, Oh Nabi of Allah, why are you crying so much? Then he said, Jibreel Amin came and told me, Ahlul Kaba'ir min ummatika alladhina matu wa lam yatubu. There'll be a group from your ummah that will have to go into Jahannam before entering Jannah. Who are these people? Those people who are major sinners and they passed away without making tawbah. Brothers, tawbah is a must every night before we sleep. Sincere tawbah. Because we all are weak. No one is perfect. We all have our weaknesses. But sincere tawbah. And make tawbah of those things, those sins also that, Ya Allah, maybe I don't know I'm committing a sin. Ya Allah, I'm unaware of it. I'm oblivious. Ya Allah, even that sin forgive. So tawbah. If we make tawbah, inshallah, our entry into Jannah will be without going to Jahannam, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala grant it all to us, inshallah. We'll conclude on this one ayat of the Quran. where Allah Ta'ala says, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Brothers, the greatest achievement any individual can attain through this journey of life is to secure the love of Allah. To secure Allah Ta'ala's love. There is nothing greater, nothing greater. We have to fall deeply, madly in love with Allah. That is the greatest. وَرِضْوَانُ مِنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, when you have secured Allah's happiness, Allah's love, there's no greater achievement than that. So what is the recipe? The recipe is simple. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ. Oh my Nabi, say to them, if you claim to love Allah, فَاتَّبِعُونِي. You have to follow me. We have to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then Allah Ta'ala gives us a guarantee. يُحْبِبُكُمُ Allah will love you. You have now secured Allah's love. There's only one pathway, one road to secure the love of Allah. And that road is called Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no other road. It's the Sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And where are we going to learn the Sunnah, brothers? This is the reason why we have this, studying the sīrah, learning the sīrah, understanding the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The more we read about him, the more we study his life, the more his love will grow in our hearts. The more we will want to practice the Sunnah. The more we will want to emulate him. And as long as we are making an effort to emulate Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala's love is guaranteed, our Jannat is guaranteed. Allah Ta'ala grant us tawfiq. Inshallah, from next week, we actually going to go into much more detail. This was just a brief intro, the last few weeks. Now we're going to go into the actual pre-birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What was the condition of the Arabian Peninsula, and all those details, inshallah, we will go into that. And humbly request brothers to attend this program with one intention only. Ya Allah, I want my love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to grow, so I can secure my Jannah, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala grant you tawfiq and grant me tawfiq. We make a short dhikr and a dua, inshallah. أفضل الذكر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الله جل جلاله سبحانه وتعالى الله 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 جل جلاله